everyone, a warm welcome to all. Today it's about the significant transit of Rahu Ketu in Aquarius Leo on 18th of May 2025 till 5th of December 2026. In this video, I'll be sharing the general impact of Rahu Ketu in Aquarius Leo, their past transits, and also their transit through different nakshatras. The impact on ascendant signs will be for the next time. Now, anything related to Rahu Ketu is always noteworthy. It's important as they are capable to change the global trend, can bring some sudden changes in our current circumstances, and can give some karmic impact which is not in our control at all. Rahu is the main agent, a fighter for Saturn to give its results. And now Rahu is in Saturn's sign. Actually, he is the co-ruler of Aquarius also. From end of March, since Saturn entered Pisces, till 18th of May, both Saturn and Rahu had a close meeting in Pisces. They decided their agenda for the future course of action, and now they are separated with a clear focus in their mind. The events, the experiences, and your observation in past couple of months is what will happen as a result of Rahu in Aquarius, and Ketu will do the rest. Together they are activating the 11th and the 5th house of the natural Kalpurush zodiac. The houses in the sign of gains and rewards of our past karma, our skills, talent, and our intelligence. And the most impacted signs with this Aquarius Rahu and Leo Ketu will be the Sagittarius sign with its aspect of Jupiter, Saturn, and Ketu on it. This could create some friction between the desire to explore, learn some new things versus being grounded or at times like little helpless by responsibilities or by circumstances. The connection of Jupiter, Saturn, and Ketu can trigger matters related to higher education, visa related or travel related problems, documentation problems, or taking up a philosophical, a spiritual way of living in a serious manner. Also, this is the time to avoid any rigid views and seek balance between the traditional and the progressive thoughts. On a positive note, this is Jupiter's Mool Trikon sign. It is the powerhouse for Jupiter from where Jupiter derives its strength. So Jupiter's signification can lead here. And second important impacted sign here is Libra, with combined aspect of Jupiter and Rahu, which is also an exalted sign of Saturn, to have some major shift wherever it is placed in our individual chart. Jupiter here gives wisdom, but Rahu can create confusion or some unrealistic expectations if not handled mindfully. We can use Rahu's desire positively for networking or for some technological projects, but focus on fairness, balance, and open communication in our relationships, especially. See, generally, Rahu Ketu cannot give their independent result as they themselves are dependent. They are dependent planets on the strength of their sign lord, the nakshatra they are placed in, and also any planet if it is aspecting them. Alone Aquarius Rahu cannot give result even without considering Leo Ketu. So there are lots of buts and ifs to determine the impact of Rahu and Ketu. It is never easy to predict what Rahu Ketu can give. One ruler doesn't fit all, as they are karmic in nature. Majorly depends on our psychological development, our moon, our strength of moon. Rahu Ketu are considered mathematical points and they represent the intersection of moon's and sun's path. Anything related to this junction, this point is highly sensitive and it impacts deeply to our psychology first, to impact in an external manner, in our action, in our behavior. Rahu in Aquarius fuels any technological advancement, social reform, and unconventional thinking while in Aquarius. And Ketu in Leo encourages detachment from ego driven projects, ego driven behavior. Political and the corporate leadership may undergo unexpected changes with rise in tech-savvy governance and ethical conflicts related to artificial intelligence. Ketu in Leo forces us to reevaluate our creative expression and leadership style, the way we lead others, while Rahu in Aquarius encourages futuristic ideas. This 511 axis challenges us to balance our personal goals with collective progress, leading to shift in relationship and group structures. With Saturn in Pisces and Jupiter in Gemini, during this transit, there will be a mix of ambitions, awareness, and some reform for sure. All relationships may feel little dry. There is an increased air element. The relationship can be little distant and we may struggle with emotional clarity here. This transit is a karmic reset, forcing us to adopt some innovative outlook on life and letting go of any outdated, ego driven patterns. See, we have Saturn as a dispositor of Rahu, placed in Pisces, the sign of letting go, sacrifices. This can add a spiritual and an introspective tone to Rahu's influence. This could slow down, Saturn in Pisces can slow down Rahu's speed to give results, any technological advancement also, and it forces us to introspect and think deep before any of our action. This Aquarius Rahu has impact of both Jupiter and Saturn initially, while Leo Ketu is completely influenced by Sun while entering Leo, a fixed sign, where transit Sun is in another fixed sign of Taurus. I have repeatedly mentioned that Sun is the most trigger planet presently, till we have Pluto Uranus both in Sun's nakshatra. Even Ketu is in Sun's nakshatra, and now we have Leo Ketu in Sun's nakshatra only for next 2 months. Saturn is placed 12th to a Leo sign. Pluto is retrograde for one last time in Uttarashada Nakshatra before it enters Shravana Nakshatra in February 2026. Expect long awaited result of Leo and Sun's placement in your chart. As after that Ketu will enter Purva Falguni Nakshatra. We shall have some clue on what to expect from Ketu in Leo in the upcoming 2 months. The Rahu in Aquarius and Ketu in Leo transit occurs approximately every 18 years, shaping a new trend and changes our personal goals to give major transformation in our life. Previously, we had this transit in 2006, 1988, and before that in 1969. Each of these transit cycle had brought us some new shift in the current circumstances, had given us some new development on things that have happened during the previous transits, some innovation, some leadership shift, and some personal karmic reset. See if you can recollect your experiences of previous times and the lessons learned that time. Now is the time to keep those lessons in your mind to manage the current transit. That's how life goes, and that's how we grow to the next level in our life. These planetary positions always helps us to reach our destiny. And how soon we reach there depends on our ability to handle the challenges coming on our way. Keep just one goal in your mind for some smooth transition. Don't stop anywhere. Keep moving and go forward to your destiny. That's the goal for all the planetary transits. Secondly, the impact of Rahu Ketu will change each time they change their nakshatras. Rahu transits in Purva Bhadrapad, Shatabhisha, Shatatara, and Dhanishta nakshatra and brings its transformative energy each time in a unique way according to the nature of the nakshatra it transits. Nakshatra always play a role in giving results. Rahu in Purva Bhadrapad, Jupiter's nakshatra will help us to finally come out of its dual nature and will fix its belief on close attachments, emotions, or any inner conflicts. This transition is from a dual nature of Pisces Rahu to a fixed and stubborn nature of Aquarius Rahu. This is the best time to stay grounded in our moral clarity when making big life decisions. Then Rahu in its own Shatatara nakshatra will be the most powerful transit and will amplify Rahu like qualities like breaking away from the outdated system, any unorthodox ideas, strong desire to be independent here, especially in our expressions, our beliefs on health and all technological matters. This is the best time to keep up with balanced approach and be open with advanced and new learnings. Lastly, Rahu will transit Dhanishta nakshatra, Mars' nakshatra. Expect a strong desire, passion to be seen, heard, and respected from others. There will be a goal oriented action, performance, wealth creation, and very good fame. On a flip side, we may struggle with ego or social comparison, and this can lead to restlessness, jumping from one goal to another. And this can be the best time to focus on consistency rather than chasing any short term goals. This is the best time to use rhythm, like in dance, music, in our breathing, and this can help us to stay centered, consistent, and watch out for any conflict or impulsive decisions in your career and finances also. So, from Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra to Shatatara Nakshatra, Rahu encourages us to first seek healing and then transform. And from Shatatara to Dhanishta Nakshatra, Rahu questions our deeper values, desires, and then shake up to transform our action to gain independent identity here. Do remember Rahu speaks in symbols. Watch your surroundings for omens. your thoughts, and stay open for new path, even if they seem to be little unconventional or mysterious at times. Talking about then Ketu's nakshatra. Ketu will transit Uttara Falguni, Purva Falguni and Magha nakshatra. This transit of Ketu in Leo can purify us. Both being fire element, both represents strong fire in us. It can give us ancestral healing, dissolving our ego, and can help us to rediscover our roots. Ketu in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra will be very powerful to change the current trend of leaderships. See, Sun, the Lord of Uttara Falguni, is the king of the zodiac. So it represents the leadership. Ketu here can question or reevaluate the purpose of any partnership, any long-term agreements, contracts, based on who will lead with some mutual interest and is capable to detach from any duties or responsibilities if that is not fair or that is not giving any equality on both the sides. Expect breaking of old, outdated contracts and formation of something new in everyone's interest. Then Ketu in Purva Falguni Nakshatra will further take things on personal level. The same trend of Uttara Falguni, but now at the personal level, within marriages, questioning the meaning of love, fame, or any luxurious comfort. Basically, all the signification of Venus, as Venus is the lord of Purva Falguni Nakshatra. Relationship might feel karmic or imbalanced with some sudden fading off or even separation. Be slow and do justice here with first open communication and then acting on it. It is a tough time to determine real joy and pleasure of life. Last and the most powerful transit will be in Ketu's own nakshatra, Magha nakshatra. Ketu here forces us to reflect on the roots of our ego, whether we seek power or respect due to any inner insecurity. We may experience disconnect from authority figures, our bosses, elders in the family, or question any traditional structures. It's also a period of ancestral clearing. Old family patterns may surface to be resolved. This is the best time to heal from any family karmas or perform any rituals on that. Ketu in Leo first releases any unnecessary social contracts or any duties while in Uttara Falguni. Then surrender our karmic contracts or any ego-based attachments towards comfort and pleasure in Purva Falguni Nakshatra, and finally deep cleansing our ancestral karma and identity-based pride in Magha Nakshatra. That was all about the impact of Rahu Ketu when they transit different nakshatras and their combined impact on Aquarius and Leo axis. I hope this was helpful. Best wishes to everyone with this significant transit. Thank you for your time. Do share your feedback and stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.